Today we're going to demonstrate the FormaHoof application process and answer some frequently asked questions. The FormaHoof system was developed with the horse in mind, considering that each horse is different. FormaHoof is used to rebuild, support, and protect horses' hooves to promote growth.
How is FormaHoof applied?
Firstly, rasp and trim the hoof as required. Then clean and dry the sole with a butane torch. This ensures there is no bacteria on the foot before we apply the FormaHoof mold and the FormaHoof AP resin. Place the mold on the hoof. By aligning the edge of the mold just below the top of the hairline of the bulbs, we can judge how much material needs to be applied to this hoof. Now, we will inject the FormaHoof AP polyurethane, and it will cover the whole foot. It starts as a liquid, so it covers the whole contours of the foot and allows all the areas to be covered and protected. As you can see, it is pushing that air out and filling the space with FormaHoof AP resin. We are looking for it to be running out the sides and out the back of the mold to ensure every area is covered.
How long do we hold the hoof up for?
We will hold the foot up for 2 minutes to allow the FormaHoof AP polyurethane to cure before applying any weight to it. The FormaHoof AP resin cures at a lower temperature than other products, but it still sets quickly. This curing temperature does not cause any discomfort to the horse. After the initial 2 minutes of curing, leave the hoof to stand in the mold for 5 minutes to allow the resin to fully set. During this time, you can start preparing the other foot while FormaHoof fully sets.
How do we know when to remove the FormaHoof mold?
We are looking for the FormaHoof AP resin to be touch dry. Once it is touch dry, we cut off the injection points so they don't tear the mold when we peel the FormaHoof mold off the foot. We recommend using our FormaHoof AP resin with our FormaHoof mold to extend the life of the mold. The mold is designed to be used hundreds of times, so the more you look after the mold, the longer it lasts.
How do you remove the mold from the foot?
Firstly, we break the seal between the mold and the FormaHoof AP resin. You can break the seal by stepping on the mold or by pulling the mold with your hands. The FormaHoof mold is removed by pulling the mold from the back of the heel and twisting it off the foot.
What else do you do to finish this application?
We cut off any additional injection points and then rasp the application as if it was foot. Every horse is different, so the equine professional can adjust the FormaHoof application for each case by rasping and trimming the application as if it was hoof. We included a bulb protection in the FormaHoof shoes to protect the horse's bulbs from overreaching and damaging the soft tissue.
What do you do if there is an air gap and material hasn't covered the whole hoof?
We have designed the mold to be quite transparent. This allows you to see the material flow over the foot and check that the material covers the whole foot. If you miss a spot, don't worry. You can easily re-inject the material again. You can keep reapplying as many layers as you like. This is one advantage of the FormaHoof AP resin, because it sticks to itself very well.
How long does the FormaHoof application last?
The longevity of the FormaHoof application depends on several factors. The first is preparation of the hoof surface prior to application. Secondly, the quality of the application. Thirdly, is the condition the horse is kept in, i.e., dry or wet, muddy conditions. The last factor is the amount of work the horse is doing. Horses in work around 4 to 5 weeks. Horses in rehab, 5 to 9 weeks.
What is the difference between FormaHoof and metal shoes?
FormaHoof is an overall protection and support, rather than a rim protection, like a normal steel shoe. With a normal steel shoe, it is nailed onto the outer wall, like your fingernail essentially. So, the soft structures of the foot are no longer protected or supported. FormaHoof adds concavity to the foot, while it supports and protects the entire foot.
Does it take longer applying FormaHoof than applying a normal shoe or a glue-on shoe?
One is shaping steel shoes in fire. The other is gluing on fixed-shape shoes. It's a different process. FormaHoof is a lot quicker than both traditional shoeing and glue-on shoeing.
How thick is the application?
The thickness depends on how much heel or hoof is missing. You can adjust the thickness depending on the requirements of each case. You can always adjust the thickness by applying the mold over the first application. and adding a second layer of Formahoof AP. Competition horses would have a light layer, where a workhorse would have a thicker application.
How many sizes do you have?
Our sizes cover foal all the way up to draft horses, so we can cover every horse.